So I have been receiving a lot of questions about this, and I think this is the right time to answer those questions. The questions are: how do you measure the cone of your customer? So right now I'm going to show us briefly how you're going to do that. But before we proceed, I would like to show you some certain things which are very important and necessary that you should put into consideration before you take the measurement of that your customer. So if you look here, this is elast. You understand? The design you're going to make will determine where you're going to measure. The design you are going to make will determine where you are going to measure. So with a simple example, if you're going to make a slide that is going to cover from here to somewhere here, you have no business measuring here on your customer's foot. Hope you get the point. If you're making a slide or a cover that will start from here, the toe, to maybe somewhere here, you have no business measuring here, the cone. So where you have to measure is this ball point, the widest part here. That's where you're going to measure. So once you measure here, whatever you get, you compare it to the sizes of last you have. Anyone that is very close to that measurement, that is what you are going to use to last that footwear. Now, if the design you're going to make is going to come up here, then that's when you're going to measure the cone. The same procedure, once you take the measurement of that cone of your customer, that's your customer's foot, the cone, you are going to compare what you measured, the data you got, you compare it with your last, all the sizes of the last you have. The one that has exactly or the closest measurement to that data is what you're going to use to last that footwear. I hope you understood what I have just said. Now let me show you how to measure the cone or the foot of your customer. So it is quite very simple. You pick your measuring tape, then you're going to wrap it around. You can either use inches or use centimeters, whichever one you prefer, you can use. So you wrap the tape around the cone this way, and this is where you're going to read. You see this edge here. You see this edge. You read where it is corresponding on the reading on this part. Where the tip of the tape here is corresponding on the reading on this side, that's where you read. So this one I'm having 26 centimeters. You see it? Hope you're seeing it. The edge of this edge here, this one, that's what you use to read. Where it is corresponding with this one, that is the measurement. Hope you got it now. The same thing is applicable when you are measuring the ball point. That's if you're making a slide. Wrap it also around the ball point this way. Make sure it's on the ball point, and then you also read. You see it? You also read. Hope you're seeing it. So this one here now we're having 24 centimeters. So that is how to take the measurement of your customer. Now, if it is about the length, which is the size, you can actually use your tape, place it on their foot this way, put it on their toe, the longest toe, you understand? Then take it to the back. You understand? Whatever you get, compare it with the sizes of soles. You can compare it to ready-made soles so that you can be able to know the size. You can compare it to your last so that you know the size. Hope you get the point. But the easiest way I do mine is if the customer comes to my shop and maybe he or she doesn't know his or her size, I'll pick the already available products I have in my shop and they will test it out. Whichever one that fits, I can easily determine the size of that customer. Hope you got the point. Now there's another big question some people actually ask most times. Now let me answer that question. Some people ask me, how do I determine, or how do they determine the size of a customer who is not close? Maybe a customer who is in another state. You cannot actually get their measurement, you understand? The answer is very simple. For you to get the exact measurement of that customer, the chances are about 70%. But it is only those who have enough experience in this field that can actually get the sizes of their customers who are not close to them for a physical measurement. So these are the few things you should ask that customer when they are not close to you. Number one, when you ask them their sizes, because sometimes, like I explained in the previous video, some customers might be wearing 43, for instance. They will tell you their size is 43, but unfortunately, the cone of their foot is way above 43 or maybe way below 43. It is not exactly 43, and that is where the problem comes in. So when a customer tells you, for instance, I wear size 43, number one thing you need to ask them, is it big 43 or small 43? And when they tell you whether small or big, you can actually tell them to send you a picture of their foot. You understand now? So these are the comparisons that you have to do to actually determine the size of that customer. There are a lot of other things that you can also do to ascertain the size. You need a lot of experience to be able to get their sizes from just asking questions. So there is no rocket science attached to getting your customer's size when they are not close. It is just using your experience and working around some certain things to be able to determine what their size could be. So in summary, if the customer is not close to you, ask them their size, and when they tell you their size, ask them whether it is big or small. Ask them if their foot is big or small or slim. You understand? These are the questions you need to ask them. And also you can simply request for the picture of their foot. So when you look at the picture, you can do some mathematics in your head with the experience you have and with a lot of customers you have attended to. You can be able to maybe figure out their size without having a physical measurement. And I must be sincere to you, this is one of the biggest challenge in this field, because it is very difficult for you to determine the size of a customer who is not close by, so that you can take their measurement physically. It's a big challenge, but sometimes with experience and few of these things that I've just explained to you, you can easily figure it out. But I have to tell you, it is not always 100% compared to when you take a physical measurement. I just believe this answers your questions. If you have more questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section, or for some of you that have my WhatsApp number, feel free to send your messages. When I'm free, I'm going to try as much as possible to take those questions. And please ask relevant questions. Ask meaningful questions. Once you ask a question that is relevant and meaningful, I'll make out time to answer them, either directly or by making a video. So don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon to get updates as soon as a new video is dropped. Have a nice day and see you in my next video.